here in Sokoto were hitherto free of this problem and this very, very precarious challenge of banditry, kidnapping, cattle rustling, not until about 5 years ago when it began to manifest on the borders, particularly of Zamfara State, in our local governments that are bordering Zamfara State. Of note then was Traitor, and subsequently Raba, Isa Sabombeni Goronyo, and then Kepi. To all of these local governments are having a common border with Zamfara State. It is a case of a problem of your neighbor being yours, unless if you all put hands together to checkmate it. As you rightly said, this problem started in Zamfara State many years before it got into Sokoto State. And then we were comparing notes and sharing intelligence with our brothers in Zamfara, in particular when Governor Blaziari was the governor of Zamfara State, in trying to nip this problem in the bud. But unfortunately, we witnessed some major and level of escalation of the problem. And then, of course, it spread into some parts of Sokoto State, as I said. In recent months, we have witnessed also escalation of the problem in the eastern part of the central district of Sokoto State, and where a number of attacks were carried out by bandits, and a number of lives, in hundreds now, have been lost and properties worth millions of naira destroyed. We can say that farmer and herdsmen clashes were legendary. They have a long history for decades, one can even say for centuries. But in those days, it wasn't as bad as we have today. It was more of herders veering off into farmlands and eating up plants and crops of farmers. And then they get to either village head, or Basaraki, or Kali court for settlement, or even up to police stations. But these days, it's beyond that. We are witnessing completely a different scenario and a different challenge, whereby the herdsmen supposedly are carrying and bearing arms and ammunition that are not known to us, and then they end up visiting mayhem and killing and maiming individuals who have nothing to do with whatever their problems are. And of course, the problems are known to us and the challenges are known to us. What we require is actually more and more presence of security personnel and well-equipped and well-remunerated manpower. Because as it is, not until recently, we have been facing a very, very low level of manpower, even though we have established the 8th Division of the Nigerian Army here in Sokoto, but their power, I mean, the level of personnel was up to a battalion from my information. So you can see that they are terribly under personnel, undermanned. They don't have the manpower, they don't have the equipment, they don't have the wherewithal to take up the challenge. And not so therefore there is the need for us to deploy more troops, deploy more hands, more personnel, give them more equipment, give them more, particularly vehicles that they'll be able to convey them, they'll be able to convey them to troubled spots that are scattered all over the place, because the challenge is that it's not a problem that is happening in a particular location, just one village. It's sometimes sporadic. They will just come and be moving from one village to another, and you can hardly track and keep a track of them. So you have to be pursuing them, and the landmass is very wide and vast, up to some parts of Niger Republic. So it's quite tasking and quite challenging even for intelligence. We need more intelligence, intelligence gathering. We need more community buy-in of the efforts of the federal government and armed forces. Otherwise, without collaboration with the locals, we may not be able to actually address the challenge. It's a collective fight. All of us must put our hands on deck. The government of Sokoto State has done a lot in the past. We have been supporting the security personnel in the state in terms of financial support, in terms of vehicle support, in terms of whatever support, even infrastructural support whenever the need arises. But ours cannot be enough. It's far inadequate with the challenges we've been facing. And of course, in the recent past, with the challenge of coronavirus, COVID-19, and insecurity and lack of funds, paucity of funds, you can see that the challenge is quite daunting on governments. So I appeal that we should be more focused on, and there should be more synergy and coordination amongst the armed forces and security forces in this fight. Well, in the past, to be honest with you, part of the challenge has been the non-existence of synergy at the top level of the security personnel of this country. Here in Sokoto, I must report that all of the arms of different agencies of security outfits that we have in Sokoto, be them the Army, the Air Force, the police, the civil defense, the DSS, are working together in synergy. I must commend them for their synergy, for their patriotism, for working together. But you know, and you know very well, Mala Mahmoud and the rest of the panelists, and indeed those who are following us, that they lack in synergy at the top level of the military and security high command in Nigeria. Is very obvious, and that actually, I'm sure Governor Blaziyari will confirm this, didn't help matters. And so there is the need, even now, for them to work together, for them to have synergy, for them to increase the manpower that we have at the moment, and also deploy technology. Technology is key and important in addressing this challenge. We cannot continue the way we are going. We need to deploy drones. We need to deploy all that we can to actually address this challenge. Mr. Mahmoud, I believe that we need the cooperation of each and every one of us to address the challenge. There has to be a looping of the entire area of the Northwest, and possibly including Niger, and the efforts by the security agencies should be a kind of simultaneous. Otherwise, if you address the challenge in Zamfara without addressing it at the same time in Katsina, Kaduna, Niger, Kebbi, Sokoto, the bandits will only disperse into the next state. So there is the need for all of these to be taken together. And I recommended to Mr. President when I visited him that there is a need for him to collaborate and cooperate with the President of Niger Republic, because we have states like Dosso, Tawa, and Maradi and Zindar bordering Nigeria in Niger Republic. And they are also having some of these problems of banditry. So you could see that it's both ways, from Niger to Nigeria, from Nigeria to Niger. And that's why we have this agreement of hot pursuit by either of the sides of the armed forces. The Nigerian forces from Niger Republic can pursue criminal elements into Nigeria, and Nigerian armed forces can also pursue criminal elements into Niger Republic. So there is need for more and greater collaboration at the sub-regional level of ECOWAS, because we know that even the arms that the bandits are getting from neighboring countries of possibly Niger Republic, Mali, Libya, Chad, Cameroon, and the rest of it. So there is the need for not only a national response, a well-coordinated response from the security forces of Nigeria, but a kind of sub-regional at ECOWAS level response, which will go a long way in addressing this challenge. I thank you very much for this opportunity. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should continue to grant our leader a repose in his grave, and may Allah forgive his shortcomings and admit him into Jannatul Firdaus. Thank you very much, the organizers of this webinar.